Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning on Tweet Yourself to Better Employees. Hope you like the wordplay there. Quick line here, I just want to start off with, I'm sure you've all read, Dell revealed last year they had about $1 million in additional revenue from their sale alerts that we'll explain here shortly. So let me just get started. So the agenda for today is, first off, a little bit about Mindfield Group. I'm going to also launch a poll here in a second on who uses Twitter currently that's on this webinar. Discussion around what is Twitter, how to leverage Twitter as a recruitment tool, how do I become a better tweeter, and then some Q&A. So the presentation should be approximately 35 minutes or so with a good amount of time for questions. So I'm going to just launch a poll here for everybody, and what the question is basically, let's see here. So the poll is, are you currently using Twitter? So just to start here to give us a handle on really where we're at, I'll give everyone another kind of 15 seconds here or so we can get a handle on who's on the call and familiarity with Twitter. Okay. So we've almost got everybody in here. We've got, it looks like it's pretty static. We've got approximately 80% are currently not using Twitter, and about 20% of you are. So that's great. As far as, well, it is great, and hopefully that number will grow by the end of this webinar. But I'm just going to close the poll here. All right, so we've kind of final number here, 83% no, 18% yes. So let me jump into this here. A little bit about Mindfield Group to start off with. I founded the company in late 2005. Back when we started the company, the market was very barren. Certainly the last 24 months have been similar as far as candidates in the market. So we had initially started building a lot of capability in the social media space, understanding Facebook, LinkedIn, MySpace. Obviously, when I first started the company, it was still very hot, and Facebook really was just kind of getting going. Our expertise is in delivering high-volume RPO solutions. Specifically, we've got a lot of expertise in the retail industry, so companies that are hiring frontline staff for multiple locations, or call center staff, or customer service staff, for example. The volume we currently do, we currently make a hire every 9 minutes or so. So we should make, approximately 6 hires here throughout this webinar for a multitude of clients. And if you are a retailer, you need to hire volumes of hourly paid employees. That is absolutely our sweet spot. So we'd love to chat with you post this webinar if there's any interest. Our RPO solution, and RPO basically is recruitment process outsourcing. So what that means essentially is we become our client's branded corporate recruitment department. Our solution includes a couple of key things. We do all the management reporting. We can provide you with an applicant tracking system, or we manage the data within your current applicant tracking system. We provide our clients with branded candidate call centers so the candidates can call in. They don't know that they're calling a third party. We do all the advertising management to make sure our clients are getting the best value for their dollar being spent. Manage their career site, all the candidate communication in relation to the recruitment process. And we pre-screen all the candidates, phone screen the top candidates, and then provide a short list to the hiring manager, saving them hours and hours of time in a week or even a month or a year. And our solutions are really geared to cut our clients' costs per hire by over 50%. A couple ways to connect with us. We do have a Twitter page that I'm going to be going into here, but you can connect with us on Twitter, twitter.com/mindfieldgroup. You can also check our website, rethinkrecruiting.com. We do have a blog that we update once or twice a week, mindfieldgroup.com/blog. And if you're really old school, you can join our Facebook fan page, because it seems like it was yesterday that was all the rage, and certainly Twitter is now. So a little bit about me. I'm the CEO and founder of Mindfield Group. Spend a lot of time on learning of social media and recruitment, and as you can see the caption, that is my professional headshot. Probably should have shaved my beard for that picture. Anyhow, how to contact me directly. If you've got any questions about the webinar or anything we talked about here, feel free to reach out to me directly at Cameron@mindfieldgroup.com. A couple shots of our office to give you an idea, kind of our environment. We're in a gorgeous 28-foot loft, 28-foot ceiling loft, right in the middle of Yaletown and Gastown in Vancouver, BC. Nice big bay windows. We actually, the space actually used to be the Pender Ballroom. Anyway, just side piece of information. But who uses Twitter? So we've established here on this call that we've got about 80% of the people who aren't using Twitter at this point. But let's talk to obviously there's 20% of you do use Twitter, but let's really speak to who does. Oprah does. Oprah's first tweet was last Friday. The estimated growth, now Twitter's got about 7 million individuals on this, on their service. Oprah doing her first tweet on Friday grew the base, they figured, by 1.2 million soccer moms basically in one weekend, which is substantial. Oprah went from 0 to 416,000 followers, and certainly I'm going to explain what follower means and everything. I'm just going to quickly click on Oprah's page. You can see what Oprah's talking about today. Let's see, she pulled the Columbine show today after reviewing, thought it focused too much on killers, hold the thought for families, hard day for them. She worked an hour and now going to read the Sunday papers and have a skinny cow or two. I don't know what a skinny cow is, but apparently 444,000 people care to understand that. So I'm just going to go back to the PowerPoint here. CNN also does. CNN's got 1.1 million followers, and they are in fact the second largest Twitter, I guess, company or individual or company on Twitter with the second largest following. And this is all their breaking news. And if you have got, this is going to surprise you a little bit, but they're second only to, nope, not the Pope, not Barack Obama. It is Ashton Kutcher. So he's got the largest following on Twitter at 1.2 million followers. I mean, obviously, this is a tool for self-promotion as well, and certainly some information is valuable, some is not. I have looked at his feed. I am not a follower of Ashton Kutcher because I don't care what he had to drink last night. So anyhow, what is Twitter? So the definition that Twitter provides is Twitter is a service for friends, family, and coworkers to communicate and stay connected through the exchange of quick, frequent answers to one simple question: what are you doing? I'm just going to go back here 1 second. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to show you the Twitter interface here before we jump forward. So this is, again, Ashton Kutcher's Twitter page. Now I'm going to go to ours here. So you can see this is our Twitter page. So you can see here first off my profile. You can see I did a tweet here this morning. 1 second here. Internet's a little bit slow. Here we go. So this is our Mindfield Group Twitter page. We've really started kind of ramping it up, and you can see some conversations. I tweeted this morning on an article that I found around Twitter being the next monster. You can see here I was spending some time researching the newest candidate sourcing strategies, did a presentation for the hotel HR directors, so I sent a message thanking them through here. And this is essentially the interface. Now, what I want to do is I want to sign out and kind of go through the initial sign up. And again, I'm going to explain all this here, but I think it's important. So Twitter's made it very simple. You can see I took their definition as a service for friends, family, and coworkers, basically. Why is this important? And this is an interesting definition that they use. Because even basic updates are meaningful to family members, friends, or colleagues, especially when they're timely. Eating soup, research shows that moms want to know. Running late to a meeting, your coworkers might find that useful. Partying, your friends may want to join you. And then simply how. So to sign up for an account is very, very simple. With Twitter, you can stay, and I'm just reading this out here. Twitter, you can stay hyper-connected to your friends and always know what they're doing, or you can stop following them at any time. You can even set quiet times on Twitter so you're not interrupted. Twitter puts you in control and becomes a modern antidote to information overload, and I'm definitely going to speak to that here in a second. So I'm just going to log back in. Whoops. Okay. So again, this is my feed, and I will explain this in a second, but basically these are all the people that I'm following, and any tweets that they have are coming through. So going back again, so what is Twitter again? It's a short 140 characters, and what are you doing right now? So how is this different than Facebook? A couple major differences. When you look at Facebook, when you think about your profile on Facebook, you've got all of your friends' information coming into one feed, so you can collect all that information, but your network is essentially contained. And when I say that is you are limited to the amount of information and the individuals that are on your basically within your friends' network, and all your information comes in one. On Twitter, your posts basically go on your followers' feed. So this provides an extreme viral marketing opportunity this way. And I'm going to explain that in a second. So when I go tweet on Twitter, and again, I want to really emphasize this point because this is a dramatic difference on why Twitter is getting so much interest right now. When I go update my Facebook status on Twitter, for example, or on Facebook, it only shows within my friends' network. When I go tweet on Twitter, it actually shows up on the homepage and the feed of all of my followers. So you can see now that all of those individuals' followers can then see my information on that person's feed. So a little bit about Twitter and Twitter versus everyone. So Twitter is by far and away the fastest growing social network on the web right now. February 08 they had 475,000 users. February 09 they had just over 7 million. There's estimations right now that they're going to double that by the end of the year, which is again starting to scare Facebook a little bit as well. So who uses Twitter? And this was some information that I was mildly surprised on to a certain extent, but when you look at the bulk of where the individuals are using it, they're actually 25 and over. And to break it up even more, you can see here, this absolutely astounded me. If you look at the percentage of people now that are between the ages of 35 and over 55, you're looking at a very large, substantial part of the users are much older. Now this is a major difference than Facebook, and I really want to key in on this. I was doing a presentation about a month and a half ago to a group of high school students about entrepreneurship, and I was talking about Twitter. And I was talking about Twitter, and I couldn't figure out why I had these tremendously blank looks. And my first question was, who's got a Twitter account? And one hand goes up in the very back of the room, and the next question goes, who's never heard of Twitter before? And the entire room went up. So this tool has been nowhere near used within the high school ranks, very different than Facebook. I mean, they're using Facebook for everything at this point when you look at the high school age students. But they had no idea what Twitter was. Now, granted, Twitter's not going to double their growth without that population starting to adapt this. So I thought that was very interesting and certainly applicable when it's applied to recruiting, because you're not recruiting typically a lot of this age bracket, right? You may 16, 17 if you're a retailer, but for the most part, most of your professionals that you want to recruit are in this framework. So Jack Dorsey, the Twitter founder, and basically what he saw an opportunity was basically his quote was 140 characters that changed the world. And 140 characters, why that's important is you can see your text messaging is actually limited to 160 characters. And the reason they made it 140 instead of 160 is they wanted to make sure you had room to go list your own Twitter account or whoever you're speaking with within that phrase. So why is Twitter important? And again, I'm getting to the recruiting part here, but I felt it was very important for us to get in the start of this. Facebook tried to buy them for a rumored $500,000, and Twitter turned them down. This happened apparently 3 or 4 months ago. And Google's apparently rumored to be in conversation with Twitter at this current time with an offer of around $250 million. Now, you would say, well, why did they look at $250 instead of $500?